Hope you guys having your cup of coffee or your cup of tea. So one cup of coffee, one cup of tea, then I go. As you could see, it's now 6:51 a.m. and it's still dark. Time is changing. Wherever you are in this world, where I'm at, feel like autumn because we could see the leaf they start to fell off the trees. Oh yes. Once the leaves start fell off the tree, then you know what time it is. It is that time of year where the leaf they come in all different colors. And I like it like this. It's not hot and it's not cold. It's just cool. So wherever in the world you are this morning, hope you're having yourself a wonderful morning and stay blessed because I am blessed. See, I'm driving to work. It is a blessing to be alive, knowing that I wake up in the right frame of mind and on my merry way to work. With myself some ginger and garlic tea. What are you having this morning? The topic of the morning is Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG. She stunned Donald Trump by going against Maka. She's tired of the Republican Party, GOP, so she break away from them, vote against them for the Epstein file to be released. But people are also blaming the Democrat under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris because they said they were the one who could have released the file because they did have the file. So what do you think? Both parties are playing politics and hiding some prominent people? Because in Jamaica they say whatever in the dark must come to light. So do you think no matter what administration, whether it's the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, do you think they ever gonna release that file? I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna ever release that file because it's something there to be hide. Some names they're hiding. That's just my take on it. Because if there's nothing to be hide or seen, then release it. Let the public see that hey, there is no one to implicate, there is no one to go to prison. So we release it. But when you're voting for your president or your elected official, they don't have the best interest at heart for a majority of the people. Because remember, in a democratic country, democracy rules. So the people is the majority. Because if you look at it, in America, you just have a handful of people who rule and govern the country. Over 350 million people. But yet, it's your elected officials who hold the people hostage. They put what they want to put out. They show you what they want you to see. You keep on asking for transparency. But we all know the government not gonna be transparent with you. But they don't want you to know what's going on. That's why if you talk about certain things, they get rid of you. If your channel pushing for certain things, they stop your channel. Although it's freedom of speech in America, you're not free to say anything and everything. Jimmy Kimmel tried it. He said, "Oh, we gotta censor you, man. You're talking too much." And the president called for him to be sacked, or fired, or his show to be cancelled or suspended. And ABC take the bait and suspended him. But Disney never know that there was a big brand. So if you cancel Jimmy Kimmel, then hey, millions of people worldwide come to Disney every year. And then you have a subscription. So people don't have to even come to Disney. They can just cancel the subscription by a touch of a button. They say, okay, let's cancel our subscription. Then millions of people worldwide cancel their subscription. And what happened to Disney? They said, hey, we're losing too much money by the day. Our stocks start drop. Subscriptions start to go low. Because people start to cancel. And as for the president, you calling for somebody to lose their job. When you're the president, you're supposed to want everybody to be working. But that's the culture in America. First Amendment right is just freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So if you don't like what the government doing, you can always protest. It's your right. The Second Amendment is to bear arms. And we see what the gun is doing every day. Mass shooting in school, in churches. CDC. So I don't know, whenever we see the news, we always see the pressing news. Now if we look with the Epstein file, a lot of Democrats and Republicans, they are teaming up to vote for the file to be released. But what are your thoughts about the Epstein file to be released? Who do you think is going to benefit? Is it going to benefit the victim? Do the perpetrator names going to come on top? Will they say, oh, is that guy, that person was part of it? What? Or they're not going to release it because too much prominent name going to be mentioned? Majorie Taylor Greene, Congresswoman of Georgia, she's one of those Donald Trump supporter, but she breaking away from the GOP. She's breaking away from Trump administration and voting against the odds, saying the victim need justice and we need transparency with the Epstein file. So she calling on the president to release the Epstein file. So they're voting for the Epstein file to be released. And Majorie Taylor Greene is an outspoken person. She's very vocal. She's one of those loud voices in Congress. And she don't mince words. But every time she gets the words out. And she's on the front line pushing for the Epstein file to be released. Thus, they're gonna vote for the file to be released. Do you think the file gonna ever be released by the president? Because the first president was Joe Biden, and he had the file. He could have released it. So now they are blaming Joe Biden and his administration with Kamala Harris. But we are in America, and in America, the elites, they are the one who call the shots. The elites are the 1% of our population. So you can imagine 99% of us is in the dark. But if you're joining the live this morning, blessings to you and your family. Hope you're having yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. We're talking about Donald Trump versus Majorie Taylor Greene. She's one of them who pushing for the Epstein file to be released. And she's going against Donald J. Trump, the President of America. She also a GOP. She also a Republican Congresswoman serving from the state of Georgia. But she said she wants transparency. She was hoping that the vote will push for the president to release the Epstein file. She said the victim needs justice. The victim needs justice. But what are your thoughts this morning? You could leave it in the comment section down below. Do you think the Epstein file gonna ever be released? Or do you think they're hiding some prominent's name? Or something in there that they don't want the public to know and be aware of? Who was some of the guy who was on that island? Are there a pedophile in there? Or there's a ring of certain people? Because it got to be something that they're hiding from the people. Because if it's nothing to be hide, why not release it? And we see what happened. We do see what happened. Charlie Kirk was asking for the file to be released. And he stated that the president called him and tell him like, hey, you need to quit. You need to stop talking about it. Every morning they have accident. But what are your thoughts this morning? And they analyze Charlie Kirk. Now they're making him the mortal. It was a big thing. All of a sudden then the whole Epstein they died down. They passed a bill for Charlie Kirk, so you can't if a for politician. You can't analyze politicians. Now we see where it's going. But now we have Majorie Taylor Greene on the front line. She's the one who calling for transparency. And she talk about a lot of things. She said if anything happened to her, then it's either foreign influence or people in high places. So most likely she knows something that we don't know. Or you got on your four-way flasher and you're crossing, you can't drive. You're supposed to be in the far right lane if you have on your hazard light. Yep. But what are your thoughts this morning? It's unbelievable, but it's believable. Because both President, whether Joe Biden or Donald Trump, they could have released the file. But now that it's coming to light, every day somebody talking about it, hopefully they'll have like a sympathy or conscience and release the file. So people could see that, hey, there's no one to be implicated, there's no one to go to prison because no one done anything wrong. This young girl was free. They done it. At the age of consent, there was an adult. But if there was kids involved, then that's a different story. And we all know that they said some of the victims, they were not even teenagers. Look at this person crossing the road and can hardly walk in full black. When you drive on this road, you're gonna always have to look for the pedestrian. They don't use it, they just walk anywhere across the street. But if you are watching this morning, wherever you're watching from, the topic of the morning is Majorie Taylor Greene, Congresswoman of Georgia. She's going up against Donald Trump and asking for transparency for the Epstein file to be released. She says she'll be getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of dead threats. And if anything happened to her, it's foreign influence or people in high places. And she's one of the voice in Congress where people listen when she talk. What's interesting? because it's a trending topic and it's a hot topic. Majorie Taylor Greene, she's not mincing words. She's speaking up for justice. We all know that it is a president call, whether he release it or not. And the president is the one who, with a stroke of his pen, oh yes, and it don't seem like he gonna do it. But what are they hiding? Raymond George, blessings. What are they hiding? Do you think they're hiding something? Do you think they're hiding some people? As if the FBI or whoever do the investigation and complete the investigation and send it to the president, what is there to hide? Because I think that's why you do an investigation, so the people can know the outcome of your investigation. So why not release it so the people them out there then? Are you gonna hold it for 100 years when all the victim and the suspect they all passed away? Seem like what they're waiting on till we all passed away. Then it's a new generation. Then they're gonna know nothing of what happened. Then that new person release it. But it's, if you are joining the live this morning, I think that they're hiding a lot, as you said, because if there's nothing to hide, why would they not release it? But I think some prominent name in there, some name that will blow your mind away. Like you're gonna be like, what? That person is a part of it? I don't think so. But hey, in this world that we're living in, you have to expect the unexpected. Because every day we see the time and things are changing. Life means nothing to the rich and wealthy. The rich and wealthy, and we call them the rich and greedy. Life means nothing to them. Your life is not important because they're rich and greedy. So they don't think about the poor people or people who don't have it because they don't look at your life. So all those victims, do you think the people that make up the 1%, which is the elites, do you think they care about those victims? No, they don't. If they did care about those victims, then the president would release those files and let whoever the suspect is, they face the rhythm. So the victim can get justice. Now, if you look at it, it's how many years now Epstein unalive himself, as they said. And they do the investigation, but they said dead man tell no tales. So when you passed away, then hey, it's only people who like, okay, then we can speculate of what happened and what's the outcome gonna be. But as we could see and tell, that he was gonna talk, I mean, most likely he was giving up information. And if he was giving up information, then that simply means they have a lot of information on who the suspects are. Because if victims are still alive, and as long as you have victim alive, then the story will continue. Yeah, because his picture seen with him, and they were saying that he was doing recruit from his hotel. They said allegedly that's what they said. So you can imagine. But if you're elites, all elites, they know they one another. They're in the same club. Person driving without his or she light. Yeah, but I disappointed in the Democratic Party with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden because they could have released the file. Why did they not release it? And now President Donald Trump not gonna release that file because if he have any relationship with Epstein and ever seen on that island, then you know what time it is and what's gonna happen. So it's not gonna be released because it's gonna be all hell broke loose. Now the president gonna have to stand trial and all of that. He's the president. If you're just joining the live, what are your thoughts with the Epstein file? Marjorie Taylor Greene asking for the president to release the file. They're gonna vote for transparency. Wherever you're watching from this morning, have yourself a blessed and a wonderful day and be safe in whatever you do. Just remember that God is great, so keep the faith. Whatever you're going through, somebody's going through worse than you. Don't give up. Don't give in. Stay strong. Stay focused until we do it again this evening. Blessings to you and your family. Raymond George. Blessings to you and your family, my brother. Peace and love. That's what we're calling for. All these wars going on in the world. No one willing to cease and desist from the war. Because we live in a dark day. It's only going to get worse. Because we see we're in Europe where a war is brewing. Yes. But blessings. Until we meet again. I'm out. Peace.